Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, Robert Meyer Burnett. I invite you to watch and listen to the Designing Hollywood podcast, brought to you by Martika Ibarra and the great, legendary Hollywood costume designer, Marilyn Vance. I am afforded the wonderful opportunity of co-hosting the show. If you are interested in the magic of Hollywood, the design of Hollywood, the clothes of Hollywood, watch the Designing Hollywood podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts from, or find the video version on the John Campea YouTube channel. That's right, the Designing Hollywood podcast. Why would you ever want to miss it? Especially if you love the movies. Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, blah, blah, blah. Mostly your pharaoh of physical media, Robert Meyer Burnett. And after a small delay with a little problem with the internet that actually was an exterior outside problem, which I found and fixed, we are back to celebrate Warner Archive's 15th birthday. Let's give a shout out. Everybody, clap, clap. Let them hear you. Let them hear you in Burbank from here. Shout out to George Feltenstein and all the folks over at Warner Archive for doing the Lord's work. I mean, let's not we forget that they put out Wild Wild Planet and the Bermuda Depths. I mean, we're not going to get Wild Wild Planet and Blu-ray, but one day I can hope for it. But still, they're still doing the Lord's work. They gave us Fearless. They gave us lots of things. But, before we get into that, you know him, you love him, you've missed him. Because he skipped a week. He wasn't here, watching his football team go places they've never gone before, all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland, Mr. Dieter Bastian.
Rob, I've had it with you. I can't take it anymore. Your endless search for something. And I found it, Rob. I found it.
Enlightenment? Love?
No, Rob.
Oh.
You were venturing out to the final frontier, at the end of the galaxy and didn't found it. And if upper management is failing, the blue-collar worker has to go online and found it, Rob. Here it is. Your goddamn Go Ape button. I found it on the internet. And you can bet your sweet butt, Rob. This will come into play into our trivia game if you got one wrong, Rob. So don't let us hear that annoying sound. Here it is, Rob. Your Go Ape button. And I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here. Yeah, I'm Rocky like Hurricane. And welcome to the P&B Motel. A little late. That's what I have to do, Rob. The stereotypical Germans can be funny. I have to invest money. Money to be funny. Go Ape button. Here it is, Rob. Here it is. How are you doing, my friend?
Okay.
How are you doing?
A lot of people might not understand.
Yeah.
Just to recap, I have been complaining that 20th Century Studios, which is now a division of Disney underneath Disney's umbrella, they have a very expensive, although $30 million less than the last Planet of the Apes movie. They have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes opening May 10th, just before my birthday. It's my birthday week movie. And Planet of the Apes, before there was Star Wars, Planet of the Apes was my favorite sci-fi franchise. Loved James Bond and Planet of the Apes. You'd have a Go Ape week on local TV. They'd show all 5 Planet of the Apes movies. Let's celebrate them right now. Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and Battle for the Planet of the Apes. And these were, kids love apes and kids love dinosaurs. And let's face it, apes on horseback with guns. Come on. And as a kid, you love the Apes franchise. And you know who else loved the Apes franchise? 20th Century Fox, because they put them out. I have a beautiful Japanese Laserdisc box set right over there of all the Planet of the Apes movies. They put out a Cornelius bust box on DVD of all 5 Planet of the Apes movies. On Blu-ray, they remastered them in HD and put out a beautiful slipcase of all the Planet of the Apes movies. Fox was purchased. They took away the Fox, and now it's just 20th Century Studios, and they were bought in 2019. And what has Disney done with the Apes franchise?
Nothing.
Bupkis. Zero. They have a Planet of the Apes movie coming out under their umbrella. Are they remastering the Planet of the Apes movies in 4K? Have they put a Go Ape button on Disney Plus? There are 10 Planet of the Apes movies, including Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. There is an animated show. There is a live-action TV series. Has Disney Plus done anything to promote Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? Our quiet king of franchises, president of 20th Century Studios, Steve Asbell, has The First Omen, which, by the way, was turned back by the ratings board a number of times. Can't wait for that. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, we got the Alien Romulus trailer coming. And let's face it, Deadpool and Wolverine is a de facto 20th Century Fox movie. So basically, Steve Asbell, president of 20th Century Studios over there, is making Disney's summer. Sure, they've got Inside Out 2 coming, whatever. But, where's the love? You know where the love is? Right here in Saarbrücken, Deutschland, with you, Dieter, because you gave me the Go Ape button I want to see on Disney Plus. You gave it to me here. You gave it to me now.
Rob, let's see it if it will come up again, considering some transfers,
Well, we can discuss all that, although I can't watch them because, mine have been delayed, maybe sometime in April.
I got two, Rob.
You got two. Well, that's, that makes sense. You're in Europe. I got a lot of cool stuff to show.
They're not out here yet, Rob. These are the American versions that I got.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. I didn't.
Yeah.
I keep getting notices about how delayed they are.
And Rob, you got to help me out here. I'm not through yet. Only halfway through 3 Problem. Could you get me that gold VR set? Could I get something like that for me personally?
Well, it's not going to let you play the 3-body problem and try and figure out.
And what I've learned, Rob, from episode 4 today, that I shouldn't read Red Riding Hood to somebody else out there. No, I shouldn't do that. They could take it the wrong way. but I'm loving it, Rob. Like you said, the first 2 episodes were a little bit okay. What are they trying to tell me? Because I don't know the books, or it is a Chinese series. Rob, help me out.
It's okay. It's a Chinese trilogy of books. The Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy by Luan Shizin. I can't pronounce his name, but he's the same guy that wrote The Wandering Earth.
Yeah, you told us about on the observations.
So the 3-Body Problem won the Hugo Award for Best Science Fiction Novel of the Year. I want to say in 2006, 8 maybe. I'm not really sure. And really loved it. The book series is one of ideas, and it gets gigantic. It gets massive. Spoiler alert: humanity doesn't fare very well. But obviously the Chinese adapted the series into a 30-episode show, but they only adapted the first book. Netflix show goes, a third of the way into the second book as well. So The Dark Forest. But look, there's a lot of people. The books were all set in China, very Chinese based. They moved the main action to London. They made this core group of. I liked the changes that were made to the book to turn it into a TV show. The thing that people get all wrapped up in. There's a reason why Tom Bombadil is not in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. You have to when you're adapting things. I love David Cronenberg's adaptation of The Dead Zone, but there's 100 pages when John Smith's in a coma that he doesn't deal with because you can't lose your main protagonist. So adaptation's a tricky thing. And Weiss and Benioff, everyone blames them for the end of Game of Thrones, which they should be. But once they were out of book, they did the best they could. But these guys, they have the 3 books. Yeah. I think they did a pretty great job adapting what was there. I'm just curious to see how many people are going to watch it, because it's certainly not for everyone.
I'm halfway through, Rob, and I will certainly finish the series, but only 4 episodes in, and loving it so far.
You're gonna learn a new word, sophon. Learn it.
Ooh,
Love
okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Rob, is somebody else busting money at the box office?
I don't know. I was dealing with the internet.
We are a little early. Do we have even?
I'll find out. I just, I'd set up the show. I was all ready to go, and then the internet suddenly was not working. I'm like, what the hell? I'll tell you about the box office. Do you know? Okay, first of all, do you know what one of the big Late Night with the Devil, my friend? Late Night with the Devil had a big box office opening for IFC Films and the specialty box office. Late Night with the Devil scared up the IFC's biggest opening weekend ever, with 2.8 million on 1,043 screens, and it came in at number 6 at the domestic box office. That is really great for IFC. So awesome. And a friend of the channel, producer Roy Lee, was a producer on it. So that was very, very cool. Nice. So pretty neat. I mean, you got to say that, got to love that, right? Now, in terms of the regular box office, well, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Anthony D'Alessandro is here to tell us the word. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. No snowstorm or sour reviews stood in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire's path this weekend as the Gil Keenan directed, Jason Reitman produced sequel minted $45.2 million, opening after a nice spike on Saturday from families. The domestic opening of the 5th movie takes the entire Ghostbusters franchise per Sony past $1 billion. Yeah. So that's good news. Good news. And, pretty exciting. I guess it's always nice when genre films do well.
And it wasn't that expensive. 100.
Yeah. So, they've got to like that. Dune Part 2 made $17.6 million. It's only, again, down 38% from last weekend, which its hold is amazing. Its domestic cum is at $233.3 million. So far, that's a pretty great result, considering a lot of people don't understand this, but Legendary paid for 80% of the film's budget. So, and they've got first money out, and that means that when money comes in, they get paid back first before the studio. So, with, I don't know what the worldwide box office is, I haven't looked at that, but you look at $233.3 million, the studio gets half of that, so Legendary is on its way to being fully recouped on the movie, and that's not even including worldwide box office, so which is great. So Kung Fu Panda is number 3. It made $16.8 million for $133.2 million total. Immaculate, Sydney Sweeney's Nuns in Trouble movie made $5.36 million. Not the kind, nunsploitation's a great genre. Maybe one day Warner Brothers will give us Ken Russell's The Devil with the Rape of Christ sequence uncut, but who knows? Imaginary, a Blumhouse horror film, doing also very well at total $23.6 million. Not bad. I think that's Blumhouse. It is. Lionsgate put it out. Love Lies Bleeding. Okay. Love Lies Bleeding is up to $5.68 million. Yeah. Kristen Stewart. Yeah. Cabrini, which is Angel Studios' movie about a nun, I believe, or a saint. $16.1 million. They know what they're doing. Bob Marley, One Love, just shy at $95.3 million, just shy of $100 million, which is a great result, and that's just domestic. The Holdovers, $3.4 million, still making money in the theater. And, of course, everyone's favorite, the American Society of Magical Negroes has grossed $2.2 million. Not so magical, but it's still out there swinging. And there you go. So that's the box office. That's all the news that's fit to print, my friend.
Nice. So, Rob, since we were away 2 weeks, I would say we show some physical media.
Let's do that. Okay. You know what I got?
Who starts, Rob?
You know what I got?
Yeah. Start, Rob.
I got a big box from Second Sight.
Ooh,
yes, I did.
I have
And
one title.
Getting a big, getting a big box from Second Sight is like Grace Kelly's character from Rear Window showing up at your house with her overnight box packed with military precision, wanting to take care of you if you're in a wheelchair. That's what getting a box from Second Sight is like.
Right.
It's Grace Kelly coming over to spend the night with you. I have to reach down?
Yeah.
I have to look down?
Just see.
Uh-oh. I got so much.
Careful, Rob. Careful.
I know. Coming. Would you like to see what... Okay, my first thing, I went with the Second Sight Mean Streets. I haven't even cracked these open, you know?
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, Second Sight put out... Now, yeah, Criterion put this out. But let me tell you, every time, if I get a choice to go Second Sight or any other label, I go Second Sight. Because Second Sight, not just Grace Kelly, but if Second Sight were a girl, what do I always say? It would be Farrah Fawcett Majors and Logan's Run. Holly. That's what Second Sight is. Dark hair. But, I mean, God bless Second Sight. So Mean Streets. I haven't even opened this up. Let's open it up. Let's see. I mean, I know that. So, I mean, these guys. What?
The transfer should be the same.
I don't know. You know, Second Sight, it could be, but they do a little tweakage. I don't know if they tweak everything. Maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same. Of course, you know, I am not one of these people that holds on to these.
Yeah, we know.
You know, not. I like the Obies, but see, you know what's great? The way these boxes feel. God, yes, love that. This dude. Nice. Okay, look at. Oh man, do I love Second Sight? People have shown this before, but look at this hardcover book. Hardcover
that's a big
book.
One.
It is a big book. I haven't looked into it because I obviously just opened it. Yeah. And it's got art cards. I will not go through like you. I will not go through the art cards. People have to look.
Yeah.
But here's the disc. And you've got the 4K and the Blu-ray. And happy to have this. Man, I just love putting these Second Sight boxes up on shelves.
Careful, Rob, careful.
I know. I don't want to hurt it.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt it. So yeah, I got that. But you know what else I got? So you know me, and you know we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Looky here.
Ooh,
two of the four, and they've already released. They've already got one of them out. So now we only. What do we need? What's the one remaining thing Second Sight has to do? Martyrs, baby. When's it gonna come? Martyrs. Obviously, Martyrs and Inside are the two greatest. If you want to see a double feature of true horror, you start watching Martyrs, and then when you want to slit your wrists, you put Inside on to make yourself feel better and have a romp.
Yeah, totally.
A romp. Beatrice Daly, Betty Blue herself stars in this. She shows up and she wants a kid on Christmas Eve. I bet she wishes that
she does
John
everything
McClane
to
showed
get
up.
that kid, Rob.
She does everything she can to get that kid. If you people haven't seen Inside, I cannot recommend this movie highly enough.
Rob, didn't you see it at Stitches?
I did.
Back then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I first saw it. Or, no, you know, I met the directors of Inside at Stitches. I had seen it. I had seen it already. And it was so funny to meet those guys. They were young. They were so, I told them, I was like, guys, your movie is a banger. I was like, this movie is one of my favorite horror films. And they were like the biggest fanboys in the world, just jumping off the walls. I mean, they were amazing. I love these guys. Support them. Again, you know, same kind of box. You got the disc in there. Although I have to say, I mean, I got to check. Yeah, it's just now this is just the Blu-ray. It's not in 4K. Yeah. But again, a beautiful book. One of these great books. Look at that. Beatrice Daly, coming for you. Great disc, great movie. Everything about this is great, and you gotta love it. I won't open these because we have a lot to show, but just know that. And High Tension, Frontiers, Inside, and of course, Martyrs. So they got to put out Martyrs. They haven't done that yet. I would suspect that they're going to, although I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
Let's
I don't
see.
know about the right situation, considering Martis or which company holds the rights to those 4.
Yeah, I know, right? And then, of course, see, everything's falling out. Then, of course, their new releases, 4K, even though I've already bought this, I bought it yet again because it's Second Sight. Brandon Cronenberg's...
Okay, Possessor. Yeah.
Possessor. Again, standard. I mean, everything about their releases. And, of course, you know it. You love it. There it is. Patrick Stewart as a Nazi. Come on. Anton Yelchin. 2 Star Trek legends together.
Once more.
Rest in peace, Anton Yelchin. This movie also, Jeremy Saulnier killing it, coming off of Blue Ruin and coming off of... He's great. I love Jeremy Saulnier. Come on. You go.
Nice booklet.
An amazing... And you gotta love it. And I don't care that I already bought... See, here's the thing. To me, Second Sight is the Koenigsegg of home video. If they put it out, you buy it. Their transfer of It Follows is so unbelievable. And look, I even like when they do their own artwork. It's cool. They make it work. All their limited... And you know what they did? Just for good measure, because I was so excited about my big Second Sight order, I realized that I didn't have this, and they still had their deluxe edition of Session 9.
Session 9, yeah.
So I was like, ooh, they still have this? I'm going to fucking buy this shit. So I did. Yes, I did. Session 9. So I realized that my first Second Sight disc is Betty Blue. I mean, it's come out subsequently, but, they had both the theatrical and the extended version. And that was more than 10 years ago. So I've been feeling the Second Sight love for a decade. So you go, Second Sight. Look at that. Come on. And you know what? They hold off. Second Sight, if you order a bunch of stuff, they hold off till your entire order is fulfilled. Because I was worried, they were holding on to my Mean Streets for a while. But then when your full order is there, and they send it to you, and when the box shows up on your doorstep, I mean, it's like Christmas morning. It's like Santa himself left you a box of goodness. So Second Sight... You made this boy very, very, very happy with a box of love that only Second Sight can provide. And you know what Second Sight's got coming?
And of course,
the Hitcher. The Hitcher's coming.
Of course, you don't need to throw that away. Cut it a little bit shorter, then put it in the box too.
Whatever. You don't need this shit. So I don't like that. But anyway, so there you go, my friend.
Nice start drop. So Green Room, I got 2 from Second Sight. So where's the problem here? Problem are the art cards. Quick moment.
Always a problem.
And got a little bit stuck. So
I got to tell you too. So I'm a staunch I believe in alphabetizing my collection. However, I put all my Second Sight titles, and that includes The Witch, that includes the Dawn of the Dead box set, that includes Martin, which, by the way, apparently I'm glad to have Martin. I ordered it because you can't even, if I go with my browser, if I don't use a VPN, I don't even see Martin on their website because they can only sell it in the UK and Ireland. I mean, Ireland's in... So the UK, the United Kingdom includes Ireland. I mean, it's weird because it says UK and Ireland. I need to understand my geography here. There's Northern Ireland, there's Scotland, and there's...
Stoyle could probably help us out there.
I know, I need to know. Please explain. Maybe the Vixter can, or the lovely Emma Bannon, or Dean Mikitich. But yeah, so... if you look for Martin, it doesn't even show up. But I put all of my Second Sight boxes all together on a shelf because I'm rearranging my. And I gotta say, it makes me feel. I look at it.
Some labels.
I'm like, it's so beautiful. But then you want to turn the Dawn of the Dead always faces forward. because it's the greatest physical media ever released in the history of physical media. So it always faces forward, and the Texas Chainsaw box needs to face forward too. And let's face it, so does the Witch. So it takes up more space. But I gotta say, more so than any other company, lining up my Second Sight boxes, and I didn't, I realized I have a lot of them because there's the Strangers, there's Revenge, a lot of good stuff.
The hole getting bigger, considering Second Sight. So,
it's true.
From my end, Rob, the first movie I quite enjoyed watching it digitally, so I thought, okay, I buy it as a steelbook. I bought Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom. So it comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray. This is the inside of it. So there are different motives you can get. So I choose this one. So Aquaman. Then Rob, God damn it. we did purchase the big box, but I love the cover artwork. I bought Enter the Dragon, Rob.
No.
The Way of the Dragon. The Way of the Dragon. The Way of the Dragon. Enter the Dragon is the other one, the two most important ones. So you've got a different cover artwork beneath it, and it was in a section where you buy, you buy two and you get it a little bit price reduced. So you got the 4K, and there's a Blu-ray with the Game of Death in it, and it comes even with a separate booklet. Even if Arrow already put out the great box set already. And for me, The Way of the Dragon will always be the movie when our heel was on the Schmodown and didn't get the answer wrong, where the Colosseum fight is taking place. God damn it, Rob! God damn it. The Way of the Dragon. The next one, Rob, I think, you showed it already, Rob. I got it too.
Let's hear it for the boy, Dieter.
But I haven't watched it yet, so I can't tell you anything from my end, considering the transfer of the movie. Footloose. Then this week, it came in the American versions of the Ring. So I got the Ring collection.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, Rob, come on.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. Because, come on. How can you not? Gore Verbinski's The Ring remains a banger. And, I love The Ring.
The other two we just take with us.
Well, no, I like The Ring too. It's not great, and you have the
my memory is faded, Rob. Considering the second one, I have to refresh my memory.
Look, all you need to know is Naomi Watts is a hottie. So
yeah, and I always love that.
I haven't even opened this.
Does great artworks on.
Yeah, and good on Shout that they put it out, as I can't even open mine because I'm bad at that. Great stuff. Nice slipcase. I mean, the only thing though is that when you get a slipcase from Shout, and you also get stuff from Second Sight. The Second Sight, I always prefer the matte finish on boxes. I mean, this is such a weird thing to say, but these kinds of shiny boxes, they get really dented easily, and they get fingerprints.
Yeah.
And no booklets. I understand it's stripped down. I get it. But hey, still a great set to have. And have Ring 2. All in 4K, my friend. All in 4K.
And with the Blu-ray too.
Yep.
Important.
Beautiful set. Thank you, Scream Factory. Great to have those. Picking up all these things. That's good.
the first cat in the bag, Rob.
Uh-oh.
And sometimes a movie, starts really okay, nice, and then just at the end, it drops to rotten. It drops to rotten, Rob.
Oh, no.
But I still would say it's not that bad. I don't know if you heard about Night of the Hunted. So this is a media book.
So is that a remake of Jean Rollins' Night of the Hunted? Probably is.
No. So our girl here arrives at the station here for filling up some gas with her boyfriend, and a sniper shoots at the gas station, and she then is a little bit of a siege movie. And the movie it's great, but it's always tough if you're doing a siege movie like that to keep the momentum going, So it was nice, but then at the end it came a little bit unfortunately, off the rails, Night of the Hunted. I think it is on Shudder in the US. Who people wants perhaps to give it a look-see. It is from, help me, Rob. I hope I don't say anything wrong. It is from the director who did the Maniac remake with Elijah Wood.
Oh.
This is the director from The Hunted. The next one up, you showed, and I said, God damn it, do I have to buy it again? But it looked great. It was shiny, Rob. It was shiny. So I bought it too. The Avatar Digipack. The movie's rare. That's what happened if you keep the cards and not throw them away. So the first one, but only the first one, Rob. I think you've got both, Rob. I only got.
I did get both.
Okay. So the second one, perhaps, is a Schnäppchen, but nothing more. So Avatar, the first one. Next one is a part 2. The first one is with Cynthia Rothrock. The second one, fortunately not. The Inspector were Skirts, part 2, from 88. And I love that their O-rings are pretty thick now. Got a different cover artwork beneath it, as usual. And it comes then with the poster artwork. Always a little bit of a new design. And this is a cat in the back, so I'm not familiar with the second one. Oh, careful here, careful. So,
ooh.
No. From 88 films. Then the next one, Rob, I don't know if you have seen it. Really curious about it. I think it's an A24 movie. The Nicolas Cage movie, Dream Scenario.
I did see that. I watched it. Yes, I liked it very much. I loved it.
Nice.
I really did.
Is this A24, Rob? Or am I wrong? Is it A24?
It might be. I think it might very well be A24. I'm not positive on that one.
It is A24.
Well, there you go.
I can look it up. Stupid me. So Dream Scenario, but I haven't seen it. And with that order, I put in, that the shipping costs will a little bit divide between the titles. But this is not a box set, just a normal one. I got Get Carter.
It's a great disc. I have the box set of that, the BFI version.
Nice.
It's great.
So this is just a normal set with the 2 discs. So nothing too fancy. But the movie in 4K. Rob, I'm still taken aback. The movie is still rated 18. Still rated 18. So this is a little bit of the first haul.
Okay, I gotta show something. Might be my disc of the week.
Ooh.
Might be my disc of the week. You know that March 22nd, 2 days ago, Friday, was William Shatner's
exactly
93rd birthday. And they Grindhouse releasing, which has always done great work. I mean, Cannibal Ferox, I still have it on, or Ferox, still have it on Laserdisc. I love Grindhouse releasing. It was originally started by Sage Stallone, Bob Murawski, the editor of the first Omen, and Sam Raimi's editor, also an impresario at Grindhouse, put out this. Could be my disc of the week, Dieter. William Shatner as a killer. When the demons of evil take all the powers of reason, only impulse remains. Now, again, as Grindhouses want to do, they put out, I mean, this has got the UV coating on the cover. It's a raised cover. Again, an incredible package. A different slipcase. Look at that. And then inside, now, this is the best thing ever. Here is an oil painting. It's an art card, but it's an oil painting of William Shatner. Tell me that you don't want to own that. Tell me that all of you out there, just look, gaze in wide wonder at this. Gaze in wide wonder, because thank you, Grindhouse, because I didn't know I needed this. Now I want to track down the original painting. Amazing. Comes with a booklet and the discs. Look at that. The discs have great Shatner, angry Shatner on the cover. Chock-a-block full of special features. There's so much. There's a new 4K restoration. I don't know if it's pronounced. William Greffey, the director, has all kinds of stuff that from his personal archives that are on this disc. I have not watched this disc yet because I just got it.
Yeah.
But and Harold Sakata, Odd Job from Goldfinger, is in this movie.
Is this the first time the movie gotten a
believe it is. This has been a very difficult movie to see. So, hey, for William Shatner's 93rd birthday, Grindhouse releasing, putting out Impulse. Shatner's actually great in this movie. And let me read the back. Grindhouse Releasing is proud to present one of the most shocking and demented thrillers of the 1970s. William Shatner stars as Matt Stone, a deranged gigolo who preys on rich women, unable to control his murderous psychosexual urges. Directed by legendary exploitation filmmaker William Greffey, The Death Curse of Tartu, and co-starring Jennifer Bishop from Al Adamson's The Female Bunch, Ruth Roman from Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train, Harold Odd Job Sakata, and William Kerwin from Herschel Gordon Lewis's Blood Feast, Impulse is being presented in a beautiful new master, lovingly restored in 4K from rare archival 35mm elements. Only Grindhouse would bring you this. I'm telling you,
nice.
As a William Shatner fan, you know I like William Shatner. This is great to have. So
we know that, Rob. We know that.
Are you sure? Because sometimes I feel the need to remind people.
Pretty sure.
I'm telling you.
I was even a little bit surprised that we didn't get an observation about his birthday. Were you actually at Help Me Culver?
No, I was going to that event and I couldn't go because I was working.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's a 3-hour drive round trip, and between the audio launching the audio drama, Kickstarter, and finishing up White Devils and all these other things I'm doing, it's hard for me to make the drive. And then,
how much would the ticket have?
I had the tickets. They invited me. Legion M invited me. I couldn't get there. So, thanks to David Baxter at Legion M and all the folks out there for putting on a great event and honoring the man, the myth, the legend himself. So,
nice.
There you go.
Where do we
know what else I got finally?
Some super chats. Yeah. Okay.
Look what I finally was able to get.
Oh, the raids.
The rad.
Nice.
The rad. It was so funny. I was talking to my friend Eliana in Vegas, and she was talking about this movie, and she's like, "Is the raid worth getting?" I'm like, "No, it's the rad." She's like, "No, it's called the raid." I'm like, "No, it's called the rad." And she's like, "Well, is the transfer good?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I go, "It's the rad, and then there's the rad 2, even radder." She was having none of it. But finally, this is another one of these things. I'm almost done with Amazon. No Conan box set. They're saying they don't know when. It's gone. The Conan box set's gone. I got to buy it on the secondary market.
Okay.
The Abyss and Aliens and True Lies. I've now received 3 notices from them about postponing it. We got to talk about that. And then the final insult to injury is, oh, look what showed up. So I got Witness, right, from Arrow. But you know what this isn't?
Yeah.
This isn't the special edition, the box set. This is just the regular version of the movie. And I'm happy to have it. I don't need a box set of it. I don't need... Maybe they didn't put out a special edition box. I don't know what the story is behind Witness. But I have it now.
Did they put out the box set and the...
Well, I thought that there was the box set, kind of like what they did with Carlito's Way.
Yeah.
And I ordered that, and it just never showed up. I got to do some investigation. I love this movie. I'm happy to have this movie. I don't need all the special features or the box set with the swag. I just love this movie. I'm happy to have it in 4K. Thank you, Arrow. But between Conan, between the debacle with the Cameron discs, and Witness or whatever, and this, Amazon's on my shit list. Even though I love Amazon, I use them all the time.
And Rob, on my shit list is actually DHL, because Rob, last Wednesday I got your package back, and I don't know why.
I was wondering where my package went.
Your address was blackened, and I have no idea why I got the package back, Rob. I have no idea.
I didn't send it back.
No, Rob. But it is out again, Rob. It is in the States at the moment.
Because I would wear it.
Hopefully next week you will get it. I have no idea, Rob, why it came back. No idea. Your address was blackened. So that was very, very disappointing. Where do we go, Rob?
Where do we go from here? Letters. We have letters? Give me a letter, buddy.
Yeah.
Fire it in.
I'll give you a letter from our friend Paul L. Brunotto. And he says, hello to you both. So I'm not sure if this question has ever been asked on Let's Get Physical Media, but there it goes. Is there a recent well-known movie or Oscar-winning classic that you've never seen before? For example, don't hate me, Dieter. I've seen The Hunger Games, but not the 3 sequels. And to be completely honest, I've not read any of the books it's based on, and I was very disappointed in the first movie. Writer and director Gary Ross is normally solid with his past films, but this one was uninspired and dull with characters I couldn't really root for. This is just my opinion. I know these movies were huge box office, making more than $3.3 billion worldwide, and they're beloved, especially by you, Dieter. So what you say? Until next time, catch you later, Paul Allen Brunotto. Well, Paul, we did talk already a little bit about it on WhatsApp, and I got you to give it another watch, have another look at it. Perhaps it will pick up it a little. Considering Oscar movies, there are probably a lot of Oscar-winning movies that I haven't seen. The only one that I haven't seen, considering this year's Oscars, was actually Maestro. Was the only movie I haven't seen this year. Rob, do you have any black spots considering Oscar-winning classics?
Oh, I'm sure I do, but I've tried to work my way through all the classic films, not just the AFI Top 100, but although I'm always coming across movies that surprise me that were nominated for Oscars, usually older films. But for the most part, I don't think that there's a glaring hole in my film knowledge. I mean, people might joke years ago when I first started this channel, I hadn't seen Sound of Music yet. I've seen Sound of Music, which is good. I like Sound of Music. There's some films, I would say that my blank spots, actually Warner Archive has been filling in some of those. Happy birthday, Warner Archive. I mean, some of their films from the 30s. There's silent movies that I haven't seen. Some Garbo stuff that I've been watching going through the Warner Archive movies. So I can't think of anything off the top of my head because there was a time when I made it a point. There's things I haven't seen all of. I just read an article about how Douglas Sirk, All That Heaven Allows, that Douglas Sirk is somehow underrated. I hate reading articles when people talk about filmmakers that were underrated from today's perspective. Presentism is ridiculous, especially when you read articles and they don't take into consideration when movies were made. But there's movies by certain directors I haven't seen every one of their movies, but I can't. One does not come to mind.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, but there's always films I haven't seen.
Yeah.
There's always films I haven't seen. So
that counts for all of us.
Yep. 100%.
The next one comes, of course, from Brian Knight. What do your moderators actually do? Robert and Ida, I have asked this question in the past. It might have gotten lost during the holidays. You thank your moderators at the end of each episode of your show. What do these moderators actually do to enhance your program? I'm sure Disney is blaming Robert for the Apes DVD debacle for promoting the DVD and other James Cameron releases. The moderators are actually looking, Brian, that there are no shenanigans in the live.
Yeah, I mean, you have moderators to make sure that, look, Tom Jr. Jackson, who's basically the head moderator of this channel, but we have people like Lord Toth. They make sure that, if some douchebag comes in, he's not harassing people, he's not using bad language, he's not being hateful in a live show. We're trying to make a show that only I can be hateful. We're trying to make a show that people can enjoy, and part of the great thing about this channel is the comments, the live chat, and all those things, and so the moderators keep it on the up and up. I mean, since I don't really go late night and drink, and we do midnight metal and things get a little crazy on those shows, we don't do that as much anymore. So it's pretty tame around here these days, which is good. But that's what they do.
Let's work for the moderators.
Yeah, but Tom Jr. Jackson certainly is an incredible addition to the community, and it wouldn't be the same without him.
Yeah. The next one, Rob, comes from Jason Carpenter. Rob, is that really a name? Or is that a fake name? Jason Carpenter. Great name. Alvaro's book. Hi, Rob. I was recently watching your show, Let's Get Physical Media, and you were talking to Bill Hunt, and the two of you mentioned that a mutual friend of yours, Alvaro, had just released a book. I looked around and couldn't find any information about it and wondered what this book was. I spent the first half of my life being obsessed with music, and now it seems I'm spending the second half of my life becoming a cinephile. That's how I stumbled upon you and Bill Hunt. So if the book mentioned relates to movies and cinema in some way, there's a good chance I'd be interested in it. Of course, there's always the chance it has nothing to do with those things, and that's why neither of you elaborated on it further. I recently watched the complete story of film by Mark Cousins, and as somebody who hadn't delved too deeply into movies until more recently, it has been massively eye-opening and enlightening. If you can point me towards anything else of this nature, it would be much appreciated. I also realize time is limited, so if you don't have the chance to spend time making recommendations to me, I certainly understand, and it's all good show. Rob, do you know what he's talking about? The Alvaro book?
I do.
On the show with Bill Hunt?
Alvaro Zenos Amaro, or I hope I got that right, Alvaro, is
You're
somebody...
not on the screen, Rob, if you want to show something.
No, I don't have it to show, but so okay. Alvaro, I met him really for the first time at the For All Mankind finale screening, and very impressed by him. He's a columnist, he's an author, he's written for many years, he's incredibly smart, and he is very much an imagination connoisseur. And he's written a number of short stories, but his new book is called Equimedian. I think I got it right, or Equimedian. Yeah. And it is out from Hex Publishers. You can find it at hexpublishers.com. And it is out. You can get it now, or you can get it at Amazon. And I want to point out, on Amazon, it has a 5-star rating right now. Of course, there's only one rating on it. But It's so as he explained it to me, it's sort of a love letter to 70s sci-fi, which was sort of very cutting edge, new wave sci-fi. And you can get the paperback. It's actually got a very cool cover. Jason Velez lives a mundane existence, installing EmuX virtual reality machines, scraping together just enough money to pay for his increasingly unsustainable science fiction collection when he begins to have strange dreams. He knows he has to make some personal changes if he hopes to get his life in order, except change is exactly what's happening to those around him. His roommate's personality suddenly shifts. Jill, his closest single friend, retroactively has a long-term partner. And why doesn't anyone remember what a riskplex is? Disoriented by these alterations and suffering from panic attacks and lapses in memory, Jason tries to convince his friends that something is off, and it might have to do with the enigmatic Progress Pilgrims, a mysterious order who can travel microseconds into the future. But if that wasn't enough, a flyer labeled only Equimedian leads Jason to a meditative self-improvement service that seems to know a little too much about Jason for comfort. With his walls closing in and nowhere else to turn, Jason must decide where and how to finally make a stand. And if he does, he might just change the world if the world doesn't change him first. Little Philip K. Dick in there, a lot of good stuff happening, so you can get it. Again, it's called Equimedian, and Equimedian, and they have it at Amazon, so you can get it. But it comes from Hex Publishers, and he's I want to have him on the show. We've talked a little bit. He's really cool, and I will read the one review since it gets 5 stars. As an avid reader of nonfiction, I purchased this book through the publisher as a challenge. I already knew I probably wouldn't like it. Not because the book is badly written, but because I dislike pretty much all fiction except for a few classics. What a snob. This book surprised me in many ways. I found myself caring for the main character, which I didn't like because I didn't want to get attached to things and people that don't exist. That, however, is my problem. If you like fiction, science fiction, and nerdy things, this book is for you. It will most likely take you far less time to read it, too. What a snob. But he does say elegantly written, intelligent book. And this comes from Pishul. Yeah, that's what I have to say about you, Pishul, even though you gave it a 5-star rating. So there you go. Equimedian.
Nice. There you go. And the last, almost the last letter, it comes from Chris from Greece. Please help a fellow imagination connoisseur. Greetings, Rob and Dieter. As I've said to you in my previous letter, thanks to you guys, I've started again to collect physical media. I'm ordering from both Europe and USA since 4K discs are region free. But as I was watching one of your old episodes, I heard you, Rob, mention that the Blu-rays, which have the special features, are usually region A locked, and I was disappointed because almost half of my 4 collection is from USA. Now, this shouldn't be an issue because of the region-free Blu-ray players, but herein lies the problem I want your help with. In Greece, there are no such players. There are barely any Blu-ray players in the market. You know why? Apparently, Greek people don't collect physical media well. Not enough of them, at least, at such a level that Greece stopped at the year 2020 to sell any movies in physical media whatsoever. Can you believe that? I'm not going to believe that. Do you know what this means? If you are a collector in Greece and you are unfortunate enough that you don't speak English and you need Greek subtitles, well, tough luck, bro. You can't own any movie released from 2020 and afterwards. You can only stream it. It makes me furious just by writing this. What a sad ending for a country with such a rich history in theater and cinema at some point in the mid-20th century. I guess that's who we are now. Well, not me, but you get what I'm saying. And no, Yorgos Lanthimos can't save this shit. Proof of that is that he had to go to Hollywood to make a career, and the movies that he actually wanted to make because the studios here are non-existent. His words, not mine, by the way. Anyway, I digress, as the critical drinker would say. So since I would have to buy a player from abroad, I wanted to ask you guys if it's safe, because obviously it's a delicate equipment. Also, is it fine if I buy from Amazon, or should I buy from a shop from an X country? If not from Amazon, any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. If you do not recommend at all buying from abroad, then I guess I will have to buy a region B player from Greece. By the way, I'm thinking of spending around 500 euros. If I remember correctly, when it comes to brands, your suggestion is Panasonic or Sony. Am I right? And you also said that 500 euros is a pretty good price. Okay, we can just stop there for a moment. So you have, from what I guess, a code B 4K player. And a lot of 4Ks from the USA, where the Blu-ray is then, of course, region coded A. So you would actually need a region
free player, and some 4Ks are starting to be region coded as well. Not many, but some are. I look, if you're a collector, you need a region free player. If you're buying from all over the world, you just do, and they're not that expensive. I mean, a couple hundred, $300 maybe.
And my suggestion is always, if you have the room and not to disturb by many players instead of one, if you have a code B, just buy a code A, not a multi-region, just buy a code A for that stuff. So you have a code A and a code B player. That's the alternative.
That's what I do. I just keep, and I don't switch I have one A player and one B player.
You have as far as I know, Rob, the Sony.
I have a Sony and a Panasonic.
Code, and the Panasonic is a code A standard player, 4K.
Yes.
As far as I know. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because Paul Allen Brunotto, Rob, just like you, I did send him, the cult classic Bang Boom Bang.
I saw that.
And we did find out that it's actually region code B. And there is a trick with your player, Rob, where you can skip, the question, is it region B? But Bang Boom Bang is tricky, because you get to the menu first, and only after you hit the play button, then they ask the region code. So the trick that actually works with your Panasonic isn't working here. So Paul has actually have to get a region free player if he wants to watch Bang Boom Bang. And it's worth it, Paul. It's worth it. So at the end of the letter is PS, Rob, I saw the live Oscars watch party at Film Thread last week, and you guys were great. Haven't watched the Oscars since. I don't even remember, because here in Greece it starts at 1 a.m. and ends at almost 5 a.m. in the morning, and it's absolutely not worth it. But you guys kept me entertained, so thank you for that. Also, it was a totally light watching a drunk R&B, haha, live wrong and props.
I know, I was wasted.
Well, Chris from Greece, I don't know how long you watch this channel, but for us, that's nothing really new. And considering the Oscars, it was pretty tame. You can get better shows here with Rob, having a little bit of a sip here on the Burnettwork.
It's true. I just haven't done that in a while. Now, did you read B. Depp's letter?
No, this is the last one. Wait, I have it.
I have one from B. Depp. I'll read it.
Yeah. Okay, you go, Rob.
So our friend B. Depp, first of all, I just want to point out that I'm just noticing this now. B. Depp, part of his email is KMFDM. Jeter, does KMFDM mean anything to you?
Sounds to me like a radio station.
Come on, dude. KMFDM is a German industrial band from Hamburg. Okay. And do you know what KMFDM stands for? No. You're going to have to help me here. Okay. Kein Mehrheit für die Mitid. Which translates to no majority for the pity. Okay. No pity for the majority. Kein Mehrheit für die Mitid.
Where
You're a bad German. You're a bad German. How can you not know KMFDM? Anyway, that has nothing to. That's just part of B-Dep's email. I thought it was interesting. I thought I'd throw it out to you. They're going on tour. KMFDM is on tour this month, dude. This month.
Okay.
How do you not know KMF? You're a metalhead. You want me to go see bands like Rammstein and you don't know KMFDM? Come on, man.
Perhaps, but not really familiar with them.
Man, B-Dep is going to be so disappointed in you.
Ja. Kein Mehrheit für die Mitleid.
There you go.
Look,
man. Okay, that I don't want to sidetrack this. I want to just read his letter.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's what B-Dep has to say. It's a trip down memory lane. Hey, Robin Dietz. Trip down memory lane number 1. I was scrolling through my Twitter feed. I refuse to call it X. Tonight, and a tweet jogged some old memories. It was a physical media post saying some people had VHS beta laser discs, but do you remember this? It was a picture of an RCA Selectavision CED video disc player. Rob, I've heard you talk about your childhood experiences with physical media, and this device started mine. It was sometime in '83. I was 9 years old, and one day my dad came home from work with this mysterious massive box. It was a CED player, and he had rented it from our local video store, Network Video. He came home with 3 discs: Walt Disney's The Love Bug, Star Wars for me, and the making of Michael Jackson's Thriller for my sisters. Given the times and my age, the whole experience of being able to watch movies at the time like that was an experience I'll never forget. We ended up only renting that player for a month or so as we ended up buying a VHS player. That video store was a quick 5-minute bike ride from my house, and I spent many hours hanging out in that store and talking to the clerks about movies. I remember back when buying movies wasn't cheap, as they were priced for primarily video stores to use as rentals. My parents were always renting stuff for us to watch, and they knew my bread and butter was sci-fi, specifically Star Wars and Star Trek. I still remember being disappointed one time. My mom came home and told me they didn't have Star Wars, so I thought you might like this. It was Battle Beyond the Stars. Needless to say, I was bummed out. How can you be bummed out with Battle Beyond the Stars? Come on. Sador of the Malmori? I'm only in this for Sador. I want his head. Oh, well, you're welcome to it. Come on, how can you not love that movie? It's great. Anyway, I understand. Fast forward a little to the early 90s. A friend of mine worked at a mom-and-pop video store called Movie Mart, and my post-high school graduation summer was spent hanging out in that shop. I could rent whatever I wanted for free. I could buy whatever I asked at cost. Also, the movie clerks rang very true for us. We were just like Dante and Randall. We actually would close the store every once in a while and play hockey in the store, passing the ball through the aisles of movies. The store unfortunately didn't last too much longer as a Blockbuster Video opened up right down the road and put them out of business. Memory Lane Trip 2. I stumbled across the Movie Trivia Schmodown Archive YouTube channel this past week, and I watched some content I hadn't seen in years, particularly a team match between Team Trek and Team Heroes, you and John Schnepp versus Scott Mance and Jason Inman. I miss Schnepper, as I'm sure you do also. The Collider and MTS days were good times on YouTube. Here's a link included if interested. That's all for now. Live long and prosper. Well, B-Dep, thank you for that. I'll put this archive in the chat if people want to watch this trivia battle. Yes, I had a CED player. So CED stood for Capacitance Electronic Disc. And unlike a laser disc, it was actually a disc that you had a stylus. It played on the disc. Not a laser, but an actual physical stylus. So how it worked is it came in a big, hard plastic shell sleeve that had a sticker with the artwork on it. And what you did was you took the whole shell that had the disc inside and stick it into the player, and the disc would pop out, and you pulled out the shell, leaving the disc behind. And technically the idea was sound, but the disc would always skip like a record. And the reason that I wanted to get a CED player, the reason that we had one at the video store that I worked at, we bought it to rent out. Not one person ever rented it. It sat there for months and months and months, and they sold it to me. The store sold it to me for $50. And the reason that I wanted it was because the only way you could get at the time on Her Majesty's Secret Service was on CED disc. So I got the CED players. I had like Star Trek the Motion Picture, Clockwork, because the Clockwork Orange, the discs were cool. I mean, these hard plastic sleeves with the stickers on them with the artwork.
Yeah.
So they were cool to have. But I had Clockwork Orange on Her Majesty's Secret Service and Star Trek the Motion Picture. That's all I ever had. Because it was kind of a garbage system. It looked good, but it would skip, and it would drive me absolutely insane. But I made copies of On Her Majesty's Secret Service on VHS for my friend Mike Schertz and myself. But that technology did not last very long. So BDEP, take us down memory lane.
So what we call here in Germany, Rob, ein Ladenhüter, something that is not selling. never heard of that system. Ladenhüter.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
You haven't heard of KMFDM either, so I don't know if I trust you.
No. and the German wording doesn't make any sense at all, Rob. I have to look it up.
Well, they have a British lead singer, so maybe they didn't get the acronym quite right. Right.
We'll get back to that next week. So I would say some super chats, Rob.
Yeah, we got super chats. You want to hear them?
Yeah.
First of all, let's see. Let's go back. BDEP says, sending funds to support your internet. Also, happy birthday. Well, thank you for that. Sometimes things just get unhitched. Real Review says, Rob, do you prefer the Chinese adaptation or the Netflix adaptation of the Three-Body Problem? Good question. Both have their ins and outs and ups and downs. But I think that, look, to be honest, the Chinese adaptation of Three-Body Problem, they only cover the first book. It kind of was interminably slow to begin. I mean, it's 30 episodes. Netflix did the first book and part of the second book in 10 episodes. The Chinese version took 30 episodes to just cover the first book. And, of course, they couldn't even... The Chinese version, the American version opens with the People's Revolution, and it shows a college professor brought out our main character, her father. She watches her father get killed. And I'm like, look, it's like being at Berkeley if you're Jewish. Oh, wait. No one's died yet, but hey, it's coming. But that was interesting. They couldn't delve into that in the Chinese version for obvious reasons. They couldn't show the communist revolution. But it was, I thought that, to be honest, I think for Western audiences, the Netflix version is better. I enjoyed them both for various reasons.
Yeah.
I don't think after seeing the Netflix version, I would recommend the Chinese version because it is very Chinese in its presentation, and it takes a long time to get where it's going. But it's still good. I would still watch it. I mean, I did watch it. Stub McShay says, "Hi, Rob. I sent you a thing on your DMs. It's like porn for a physical media guy and book enthusiast. It shows the craftsman's hip from the factory floor when making a premium double-volume leather-bound book for 80,000 customers. Ooh, that's for the Brandon Sanderson stuff. Check it out when you have the time. I will have to do that. I want to see how books are bound and made." This comes from Blue Rock 1701. Rob, have you seen Immaculate with Sydney Sweeney? I have not. The First Omen has a lot to live up to after this. Going to see Late Night with the Devil also. Yeah, Late Night with the Devil I can't wait to see. 5 Dot Toast gifted 5 memberships.
Nice.
Darth Plato says, is Impulse the enemy within Kirk? Yes. Yes, it is. Irene Jobson says, happy birthday, Rob. And hello, handsome German.
Thank you.
Adventure Square says, congrats, Dietz, on passing of the Dutchy Bill. What is the Dutchy Bill? Did the Dutch pass a bill? Or is that another football game thing?
No idea what he's talking about. Anything about the Dutchy Bill? Have stuff to dive into next week.
Yeah. Here's an interesting question from Stubble. He says, sometimes I think it's interesting to flip the genders of a movie in my head. Yesterday, I watched Poor Things, and I flipped it in my head so that it was a male construct walking around discovering his sexuality. What do you think people would have reacted to that? I'm like, probably not as well as they reacted to Emma Stone finding her sexuality. That could have been an interesting film. More of a horror film.
BBFC would have even cut more stuff out.
Wow, they would have. A World in Pajamas Tracy says, I bought The Seven Samurai. Supposed to see it for the first time with Dad, but he passed away. I'm sorry to say that. Going to watch it tomorrow. Sorry I've been away, but I was really busy. Good to see you both still causing trouble. We are causing trouble, don't we? So it's good to see you. Welcome back. Can't wait to hear what you think of Seven Samurai.
Get back to us.
By the way, I haven't even mentioned what the biggest physical media news of the week is.
Okay.
Do you know what the biggest physical media news of the release is? We don't have to get to the news, but I'm going to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers is putting out Purple Rain.
Oh, I heard about that, Rob.
I never meant to cause you any sorrow.
Yeah.
I never meant to cause you any pain. I only one time want to see you laughing. Come on. Purple Rain in 4K. You know what's funny? On Twitter,
will be a nice release.
On Twitter, I said it's the 40th anniversary of Purple Rain this year.
Okay.
And I hope that Warner.
You were already reaching out for.
I was manifesting it. I was manifesting it by going on Twitter and talking. And somebody wrote back and said, "There's no market for a Purple Rain 4K disc." And I'm like, Purple Rain in Dolby Vision with Dolby Atmos would be amazing. To have it remastered, it'd be amazing. Because a lot of the songs on that album were recorded live, like Baby I'm a Star and stuff. Darling Nikki. I mean, it would be awesome to have that in Atmos. And not mere days later, they announced Purple Rain coming out in 4K later this year.
Nice.
Come on, man.
So, are we caught up with the Super Chats, Rob?
We are. Yes.
Okay.
We are.
Where do we go? More physical media or news?
Why not? Physical media. Show some more.
Okay. Considering it seems I don't know that much stuff, but I know Judas Priest, and considering I already showed the album, I bought it a second time.
Why
different cover variation?
Come on.
Because this will go into the car, so I can have it for all eternity. Because I have still a CD player in my
As you should.
Yeah, definitely. The next one, Rob, from Arrow, a 4K, the Asian version, or the original one, of Dark Waters.
Yeah.
In 4K. Comes with a different cover artwork beneath it. Or at least you can switch it out to a different one. And we have a little booklet. But it's just the 4K, as it is mostly now. You have to be careful, because the Blu-ray is often identical considering cover artwork. So be careful that you order the one you want. The next one I actually ordered from the Arrow Shop too, because it didn't pop up on Amazon, and it is out in the States too, from with Tak Sakaguchi, the 1%er. It's called the 1%er Warrior in the States, and it is out from Welgo, USA. You know him too, Rob. He is from the guy from Versus,
Yep.
And I really enjoyed Reborn, and this was actually a really nice one too, because he wants the action to be really real, Rob. Not that movie fighting. It has to be real. And they go to an industrial complex where they want to shoot the movie, and some shenanigans ensues. Only 90 minutes, but had a good time with it. And this comes from Third Window Films. And you even have a reversible cover artwork, which is nice too. 1%er. Or 1%er Warrior is, I believe, the title in US. Speaking of Exorcism, I didn't get Exorcist Believer, don't worry, Rob, but I got an Exorcist movie. A Cat in the Bag. La Exorcista.
There you go.
Is it called? So can only be, hopefully, only be better than The Believer. It is a Spanish movie. And Rob, I did get something wrong in the post. This was not what I ordered. But I thought, well, it is not what I ordered, but I will keep it. I will keep it. This is the only one I forgot to open. God damn it. Rob, they did send me this.
That's actually really good.
Yeah. I actually, Rob, I ordered ISS, the movie, you know. And I got this and I thought, well, send it back? No. I keep that. But I haven't opened it, but I think it's not coming with reversible cover artwork. So Icons on Earth. 2 media books that I got. And I totally forgot, Rob, considering my Hong Kong action cinema. Just as Bruce Lee got a lot of copycats, you know, considering names. After Cynthia Rothrock, there were a lot of Asian females that got her name changed. And this is one with Cynthia Khan. You know, it's called Red Force. The beginning is actually not the cover that I wanted. I actually wanted to get the media book with this cover. But actually, the painted one is really nice because it features everything that is in the movie. It was from the subgenre Girls with Guns. And this was the other cover artwork that you could choose as a media book. Red Force. The beginning was one. And the other one, the better one, not with Cynthia Khan, with Cynthia Luster and Moon Lee. It's Blood Sister, but the original title is Dreaming the Reality. And Rob, you even know her. She was one of the guards in Story of Ricky, you know? The female who played the man. And this is actually, from one of my websites, they said this is the longest version of the movie, and they had to put in a training montage from a different interpositive. So there is a little bit of drop in quality, but still nice one. So I think Fighting Angels was another the sequel title. So this was the different cover variation. Blood Sisters or Dreaming the Reality, which I think Blood Sister is even a little bit of a better title for the movie. So I have some titles left, Rob. Do you have some titles left too?
Oh, dude, I got lots of titles left.
Okay, then I give it over to you, Rob.
Makoto Shinkai's new movie. He made Weathering with You and Your Name.
Oh, nice.
His latest film, Suzumi.
Oh, nice.
Have
you seen it, Rob?
I have not seen it yet. I got it, but I love Your Name and I loved Weathering with You, so I got this. This shout out to Israel, who does the Otaku Experience. So this is great. I mean, I wanted to get some like a nicer box set, but this is fine. It comes with one art card inside of it,
and a different cover variation, Rob.
Yeah, different cover variation, so it's cool, you know, and multiple discs, and it's got 3 discs inside, bonus features. Three discs, yeah. Okay. So nice package. Big fan of these movies, so great to have that. And then, while another shitty cover from Warner Brothers, this movie gets no love from them as far as packaging. I dearly love this movie, and you know, it is one of 2. There's one of my favorite subgenre of movies that people don't talk about enough is the Gwyneth Paltrow's Head subgenre of films, of which there are 2. There is, of course, David Fincher's 1995 Seven, which, by the way, the 7 remaster is coming out in IMAX. We'll be able to see 7 in IMAX. Ooh. That's a fun time at the movies. But the other
will be a rainy day.
The other movie that belongs to the great subgenre of Gwyneth Paltrow's head movies is Steven Soderbergh's Contagion. You know me, one of my favorite genres, I'll watch anything that has to do with diseases. Give me pandemics, plagues. I've been a fan of pandemic stories since I was a kid, and I read Graham Masterton, the great British horror author and sex manual writer. That's true, by the way. Graham Masterton wrote a book called Plague that I loved, and I read it very close to when I read Stephen King's The Stand for the first time, instilling in me a great love of disease vectoring, and give me anything about random raging pandemics across the world. I'm there. This movie might be my favorite, one of my favorite pandemic movies ever made. And of course, Gwyneth Paltrow is the first to go, and there's a great scene when they're autopsying her and they pull her face down over her head. And although this cover, if you see it's a mask, what the fuck, Warner Brothers? Come on, I understand I made a mistake. There's a steel book of this that it's not great. The cover's not great, but it's infinitely better than this. This is a terrible... Why would anybody buy this? The whole point of key art... I understand it has a mask on. You know, everyone's
wearing... The only
wearing
thing I can imagine that some might be into fooling this is a new movie, Rob, you know?
Nothing spreads like fear. This has an all-star cast. My girl Kate Winslet dies in this movie. You know the movie's hardcore if Kate Winslet dies. She didn't even die in Titanic. She dies in Contagion. I love this movie. I love the soundtrack of this movie. I love everything about this movie. And Steven Soderbergh made a banger with this. Matt Damon is great. Everybody's great in this movie. I wish this movie was 10 hours long, but it's not.
I think it got a nice uptick during the COVID times, Rob.
Oh yeah, no, it did. I read an article about it. I think I might have read it on Observation. So great to have this in 4K. I think it was shot on video though, so it's interesting. I haven't watched or digitally captured, so I haven't watched this yet. But what a stupid!
But not on the iPhone, Rob.
Yeah, no. What a stupid cover this is. Can I just say how dumb it is? Totally. I understand. Somebody thought it was... I mean, somebody looked at this cover. They looked at this cover and they approved this. Like, does this cover make you want to buy this movie?
Not really, Rob.
No.
And you know I'm a cover artwork.
I mean, if any movie... Guy, no? This cast, Marion Cotillard, Matt Damon, Larry Fishburne, Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Kate Winslet. Where's your floating heads poster for this?
At least that would be something.
I mean, I don't even... Like, this has an all-star cast, and this is what they came up with? This is why George Feltenstein needs to run all of Warner Brothers' home video departments, no matter who they are, because George Feltenstein would never have made this cover. He would never have made this cover. And they put this out in 4K, which I very much appreciate, but what the fuck, Warner Brothers? I think that we should start a special section in this show. Warner Brothers Warner Brothers Hall of Shame. You know, this definitely is the latest edition. So we got this, and it's always horror. It's Poltergeist, it's The Exorcist, it's The Lost Boys, and now it's Contagion. What, do the people at Warner Brothers, do they not watch horror films? I mean, what's the problem? Horror movies lend themselves to the greatest cover art ever. And this is what... I mean, they could have done a still frame of Gwyneth Paltrow's face being peeled down like you see in the movie and made that the cover. Then people would be talking about it, going, this is the greatest video cover I've ever seen. But no, we get this. And you have to, from a distance, like you pull it, if you see this on a, like this is how far away, this is like maybe 3 feet away from the camera. And if you saw this on you can't see it on a rack because you can't buy physical media anywhere anymore anyway. So, but would you buy this? You can't. You pull it back even further. What the fuck is this?
Almost invisible.
This movie rules, and I love this movie. And I mean, why does it get so dissed? I mean, at least they put it out. You could say, Rob, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. But we also want people to buy movies when they come out in 4K.
Yeah.
This is not a real great incentive for anybody to buy a movie. I don't think putting a mask, you're not being cheeky. Somebody went home at night thinking they did something good. Those people are wrong. This is a terrible cover. This is not the way to sell your product. And I don't know who's going to buy this but me. But like, I have it
especially
now.
Especially for Cat in the Bag by Rob, the cover is the first that attract me to stuff. You know, oh, what is this? You know.
I mean, this cover it's terrible. You have an amazing cast in this movie, and this is the best you can do. Shame on you. I'm going to walk you through Westeros. Shame. You're going to take off your clothes. Shame. Shame. What is this?
The only thing, Rob, you could do, since you probably have the original Blu-ray, buy an Amaray for 2 discs and put just a 4K in it. You know.
Oh, yeah, or I can just take the cover and slide it in there. You know, that's not a bad idea.
Switch the cover. Yeah.
Or I can put them both in there just so I have both covers. I mean,
yeah.
And I can remind myself, you know, no one's going to remember, but boy, is this just lame. This is just lame. I mean, I look at this, the level
probably even tops the other ones.
You know what's even really interesting? Okay, this is even really interesting. Yeah. So here it says, if you see Contagion, right, you can see that there's eyes here, right?
Yeah.
They don't even have the eyes on the cover. The eyes are obscured, but you can see them more here. I don't even know, like, you know what? I want to find out. I want to track down whoever did this cover. And I want to, because it had to have gone through levels of approval. They don't just make, this is probably an outside vendor who created this and sent it to Warner Brothers. They probably spent all of 2 seconds approving it. I mean, this to me represents everything wrong in Hollywood in one image. In one image. And I'll bet you whoever approved this and whoever worked on this, I will bet you dollars to donuts, no one watched this movie. Whoever approved this cover, no one involved, because nobody who had ever seen this movie would ever make this cover. Not with this star-studded cast.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what this cover says? Don't buy this movie. Even the logo, even this, what is this font? What? How about just a biohazard sign? The universal biohazard sign. How about that? Fuckers.
Biohazard.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, God damn it, Warner Brothers. Why you gotta fuck things up? Warner Brothers, if this
for the cover. For the cover of Contagion.
I'm belaboring the point.
Yeah.
But you know what? It really it bothers me because we live in a day and age where you need to expect more. You need to expect more. And I do, and we don't get it. And we wonder why the entertainment business is faltering, because it's full of people that are talentless hacks that shouldn't be doing what they're doing. They don't love movies. They don't understand movies. No one could be bothered to even research who's in that movie. Wait, you know what I'm going to do? Just to see. I'll let you talk, but go ahead and say something. I'm going to do let's see.
What can I say, Rob? I don't know if you have watched it, but I have watched Roadhouse, of course.
I did. I watched it too.
On Thursday. And I had a really good time with it, considering reimagining Roadhouse. This is probably as good as you can get it. I really had a fun time. And I think they used Conor McGregor exactly right. Dialed up to 12, just like GTA version of Conor McGregor. So I was really into it. The only thing, Rob, the good thing that you told us about the business stuff, why it's not playing in theaters. The extra money has certainly not gone into the CGI.
Dude, that movie cost $85 million.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, where'd they spend it? I don't know.
Yeah. But I had a great time, and since Amazon is often putting their stuff out on physical media, Amazon, I buy Roadhouse on 4K disc if you put it out. I had a good time with it.
Yeah.
And Europe, like it too, or not? Not so much, because you are not a fan of the classic. Classic.
I thought it was okay. I was actually, I liked the location. I thought the Roadhouse set itself was great. But I'm watching this movie going
again. With a nice cage for the house pens again.
I can't believe that movie cost $85 million. Everybody made a ton of money. Now I want to show you something. I want to give you an example.
Just one last thing. The road trip had to be in it. You know.
I know.
The road trip. You know.
I know.
But I had a good time with it. Good time with it.
Okay, I just want to
bonkers at the end.
I just want to point out. Okay, here's the Blu-ray cover, and here's the key art cover. Okay, now this isn't necessarily a great image, but you get to see dead Gwyneth Paltrow. She's dying right there. You get to see the cast. I mean, this is what they went with, and this is the key art. Nothing spreads like fear. You got the names of everyone. It looks like a 70s disaster movie. You know, you got Matt Damon with his hand outstretched. You got Jude Law. You got Kate Winslet. You got dead Gwyneth Paltrow. I mean, and this is what we get. I'm just saying. I mean, that's... You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You should be ashamed. I'm going to send this to your parents, and you should be embarrassed. Shame.
Unbelievable.
Shame. Shit. Here, I'll give you Mysterio's head. Shame. Anyway. Where are we at? What's going on?
We showed physical media. You showed.
I've got more.
I
got more. I got a box from Kino Lorber.
Ooh.
I got a box from Kino Lorber that had a lot of 4Ks in it.
Nice.
And one of
probably some stuff that is not even out. So let us.
Well, so I think it all came out this week. But okay. I have to say Stanley Kubrick is my favorite film director. And Kino Lorber put out his movie Fear and Desire, his very first film in 4K, which, by the way, you got the old bad artwork, and then you got the new artwork, so it's a double slipcase. 2 different versions of the film, the 62-minute version and the 70-minute version. But here's the thing. It's got lots of special features. It's got audio commentary on it. But I feel bad because he pulled this movie from release. He did not want people to see it. And I've owned it in multiple formats.
And it's that short, Rob? Only 70 minutes?
Yeah, 62 and 70 minutes. Okay. His first film. But I shouldn't own this. I shouldn't have it. He wouldn't have liked me owning this. He didn't. So I know he's been gone for, 27 years now? But I still feel bad that I have this. But on the other hand, thank you, Kino Lorber, because now as a completist, I have all of Stanley Kubrick's features. Not quite in 4K yet, but to have this in 4K is a quite interesting artifact. They've done a great job with it. So you go, Kino Lorber. I just feel bad that he himself wouldn't have wanted me to have this.
But Rob, it says directed Stanley Kubrick, not Alan Smithy, I would assume.
I know. Now, this is a movie that I dearly...
It counts.
Kino Lorber's been doing a great job with Paramount's catalog. And here's a movie that my dad took me to in 1979 that I always really liked. I'm not a big, huge sports fan, but I love sports movies. Yeah. And this movie from 1979, Nick Nolte and Mac Davis, North Dallas 40. It makes a great double bill with Oliver Stone's Any Given Sunday. This also has a great score. Ted Kotcheff, who directed First Blood, directed this movie. And this is a Dolby Vision transfer in 4K. So, happy to have this. Now, Jonathan Demme. This is a remake of The Manchurian Candidate with, of course, Meryl Streep, Denzel Washington, and Liev Schreiber. Again, this is from 2004, and a lot of great... They ported over the special features. I was very much against this remake because I love the original.
You were like, Dawn of the Dead, come at me.
It was like that. It was like that. Same era, too. But this is actually a really good film. I mean, I don't think Angela Lansbury is probably my favorite villainess. Between Anne Baxter and All About Eve and Angela Lansbury in the original Manchurian Candidate, they're 2 of my favorite villainesses in films. But Meryl Streep's good in this. And this is a pretty great movie. And...
Love the cover.
different covers.
That's the original cover.
Yeah, that's the original artwork. But I love this. I think this is like this is also a like a advance, like it might have been a teaser or something. But
yeah,
good to have that. Then a movie that John Campy is always talking about that came out, which is actually a great movie. Sam Jackson and Ben Affleck in Changing Lanes.
Changing Lanes.
Also in 4K. Very nice from Kino Lorber, putting out Paramount licensing their movies out. But great performances here. This is actually a pretty great movie. This makes a good double bill with Falling Down. Michael Douglas is Falling Down. Really enjoy this film. And then, of course, if you've ever wanted to see, this is Lee Marvin, Clint Eastwood, and Gene Seberg in Paint Your Wagon. Singing, dancing, all kinds of fun in 4K. Clint Eastwood singing in 4K. And there's audio commentary. Of course, Andre Previn, Soon-Yi Previn's adoptive father, not Woody Allen. Most people don't know that, but Andre Previn is Soon-Yi. He did the music for this. So there you go. That's out. And those are the 4Ks that Kino Lorber sent me. They also sent me Gene Hackman and Matt Dillon in Target, which is a good. I saw it when it first came out, which is cool. And then they also sent me A Soldier's Tale, which is an animated film that I've never seen, but I'm interested in that. And then they sent me 2 DVDs. Well, one, actually, no, this is a Blu-ray. And I don't know anything about this movie, but it's called The Wind of Ayahuasca. I don't know anything about this. This is a total cat in the bag. I know nothing of this, but Kino released it. And then they keep sending me French TV shows that Elizabeth loves. One of the best shows of 2023, Paris Police 1905. So thank you, Kino Lorber. This animated film, it's an Emmy-winning animated classic by the renowned New Yorker illustrator R.O. Bleckman, based on Igor Stravinsky's 1918 composition, The Soldier's Tale. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Pretty neat. And the Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra performed the music. A lot of special features on this disc too. So Kino Lorber continuing to dazzle and thrill with their amazingly eclectic output. And they are doing more with Paramount's 4K library and transfers than Paramount's doing. So God bless you, Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber celebrating Warner Archive's 15th birthday in style.
Definitely. Should I then go?
You know what else they sent me? They sent me? They sent me The Dark Side of Cinema 17 and 18. They're film noir box sets. And these are always good. And the original Vice Squad is in one of these. Nightmare with Edward G. Robinson's in one. These are great.
This is what number? 17 already?
17 and 18.
Holy moly.
I know.
Nice.
If you watch Heath, if you watch Serial at midnight, you can see he's got them all lined up behind him. He's got them all.
Nice.
I know, right? All good.
Yeah. So I have still some titles left, Rob. If I should do them right now. Cat in the Bag, Night of the Bastard. No idea.
Story of my life.
Yeah. Night of the Bastard. Then I was actually, even if I'm a huge fan of Chucky, with of course Bad Duo's voice, but I didn't mind actually the remake. So I bought the remake in 4K, but same cover artwork underneath it. But I think the discs look great too. So Child's Play in 4K. The remake, and let me just see a media book from Germany. I totally loved the first one, and this comes with both parts because this is the 4K of Kingdom 2. So you've got Kingdom 2 as a Blu-ray and 4K, and the first one came with it again, which I will have to remind myself because the first one was from, I believe, 2020. So Kingdom from Japan. Really looking forward to it. Didn't get around to it. So Kingdom 2. And then, Rob, one movie I have a hate-love relationship because after I first seen this movie, and your people, Rob, your people, and that I mean you and your Hollywood people did me
My
dirty.
Hollywood people?
Because I already knew after watching all that great stuff from America, the culprit will go to the prison and I can sleep soundly. And then this Korean movie came out. I watched 2 hours and they didn't catch the killer. And I thought, what is this? What is this?
Memories of
Can't
Murder.
be happening. Exactly, Rob. And I bought the Korean 4K one, Rob. This is the 4K.
The movie's fucking great. You know, they did finally catch that murderer.
You told me. So for me, at first, I was angry, Rob. What? 2 hours and you didn't catch the killer? What is this? But now I'm in love with Memories of Murder. It comes with a book, which comes with greatly lots of pictures, storyboards, and a lot of other stuff too here. Some storyboards at the end. And the steelbook, but I haven't watched it yet, which entails the 4K of it. And I believe this is the first 4K disc of Memories of Murders. There were 4K transfers, I believe, but not a 4K disc, actually, for Memories of Murder. Really looking forward how it will look, because it was never a good looking movie. And Rob, this one I haven't even opened because I wanted to show it to you in the condition that I got it, because it looks like a sealed document.
Ooh.
From Asia, comes in this bag, and it comes with a poster. The movie is called It Remains. It came with Memories of Murder, and this came separately in a big roll, so that's not even folded. It Remains, the movie is called, and I put it with Memories of Murder. Get over, that shipping cost. So I unfortunately have to rip that sticker open, because I tried it before our show to remove it, but I was not successful with it. So I can get, hopefully, to the insides of this package. If I cannot get it open, I need to show it to the next week. I was thinking that I would be able now to open it. There it goes. Got it. So let me just see. Of course, we have there's a lot of swag. So we've got the Blu-ray in it. Okay, It Remains. Cat in the back. Just see if there's something in it. No, just the Blu-ray. So it's in it, and then it comes. Just see what we else have here. We have some nice postcards. Nicely. The package is almost like a Japanese one.
That's very cool.
So, postcards. It Remains, and I have no idea. This is sealed too. No, just see. It Remains. No idea what we will get in here. So a little bit like Christmas here. Okay. What we have here. Oh, okay. A lot of lot of mini cards. So don't show him all. There are a lot of those, and inside the baggie here, there are more posters, it seems.
More?
Yeah. There are... Okay, these are... Okay. More like... Oh, okay, there's a little bit like a map, you know. You can put stuff in. And in it, there's even this one. So, this is a bag full of swag. And another one where you can put stuff in it. So, it remains Cat in the Bag. Hope I can get back to you after seeing it, if it was worth it. And then, of course, Rob, the last two. Let's get into it. I got the first two Cameron titles.
All right, here it comes. I know everyone's been waiting.
The Abyss and True Lies. Since we started early today, or at least we tried, I didn't get a chance to watch True Lies. But yesterday, I have watched The Abyss. And from my end, what can I say? Well, yes, there's the mostly used excuse, you know. Of course, it is the best version that we've gotten from The Abyss. Nobody would watch a DVD instead of this. Nobody. But Rob, we all know Abyss was shot in a tank. And now it looks like a clean tank, Rob. You know? You know, it looks very clean. The sharpness is there. So it looks good. For me, it would be an 8.5 out of 10 considered picture quality. Do I like how the movie looks? No, not really. Not really. So if I could detract that it wouldn't be The Abyss, I would say, yeah, nice looking this, but I know it's The Abyss. And I would prefer it would be looking a different way. So it is good looking, but considering The Abyss, a faithful presentation, considering when the movie was shot, no, probably not. But I can't tell anything now. I haven't got around to True Lies next week. But considering they probably use the same program on all three titles, should be looking the same. And Rob, I think you said it. For me, it was this morning on Observations. Somebody told you that he thinks True Lies looks tremendous.
My friend Dave Hargrove, who actually works in QC, said he thought it looked good, and I was like, "What are you high? Have you taken leave of your senses?" I mean, normally, you know, I would say that my friend Dave Hargrove his word is sacrosanct, but apparently he thinks that that it looks good, and I'm at a loss, to be honest, Dieter. I'm at a loss when he feels that way.
So for me, The Abyss, no, will not get a button. It is, of course, purchase worthy. It looks good. Just I don't like how it looks, you know. Because the tank is clean now, Rob. No matter how deep we go in The Abyss, the tank, the pool is clean. Okay, Rob, that was my haul this week.
Well, it's a good haul, Dieter.
Yeah. And one last, I got a little bit of a streaming recommendation. Besides Roadhouse, I watched a French series on Netflix called Furies.
Oh yeah, how is that?
Great, Rob. I had a great time with it. Great action in it. A lot of twists and turns. Really had a dug in it. Really hoping for a second season. Really recommend for everyone to watch Furious so that I can get a second season. It's a French series about crime families, and the Furies are the person who you call if there is some trouble between the different crime families.
Yeah, I like that.
And they have to get, everything to calm down so that there's no war breaking out between the crime families. That was what the Furies are there for. Really had a great time with it.
Louis Feliciano wants to know if we're ever going to get an Alpha Dog 4K. Is there an Alpha Dog 4K? I don't know. I wouldn't mind getting that. By the way, Jim Alaska has become a new member of the channel. He's a PGS hero. And Elder Scold also became a new member of the channel. Voodoo Child KC became a new member of the channel. Fred Leggett became a new member, and so did Cyfax became a new member of the channel. Stub McShave says, there should be a monthly segment on the show of Cover Hall of Fame and Hall of Shame. People could even send in nomination suggestions. It'll be a cover Razzie segment. I love this idea. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's do the Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame covers. Please send in suggestions to the channel. Our website's being rejiggered around, so but that's a great idea, Stubble. I love that idea. World of Pajamas. Tracy says, one of my recent movie disappointments was Dark Tower. I love the books. They had great actors, but it was bad. I hope they try again via the TV series. Yeah, I mean, how that movie perplexed me to no end. Again, how did that movie get made? They could have, Ron Howard was going to do movies and a TV series and make them work in tandem. Yeah, that was not good. They didn't do a good job with that. I was very disappointed. So, you want me to jump into the news?
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be a birthday for Warner Archive, their 15th birthday, to be exact, without talking about their new titles that they have coming up. And this is why I love Warner Archive. You want to look at a title? Here's a title. Audrey Hepburn and Fred Zinnemann's The Nuns story. Now, this is not going to be one of those Nuns in Trouble movies where, the nuns are doing bad things.
So it's not the Immaculate prequel.
It's not like Black Narcissus or anything like that. But beautiful cover. This is a beautiful cover for a disc. So you go, George Feldenstein. Yep. Warner Archive is also putting out Gary Cooper in Friendly Persuasion, William Wyler's Friendly Persuasion with Dorothy McGuire. It will pleasure you in 100 ways. That's what I tell Irene Jobson about my tongue. Oh, wait, what? Never mind. Warner Archive's also putting out You're a Big Boy Now from 1966, The Odyssey of a Young Youth. I love that. A young youth. Is there any kind of youth that isn't young? The Odyssey of a Young Youth who wants no part of sex. He wants it all. You're a big boy now. I've never seen this movie, but for this alone, if he doesn't just want sex, he wants it all. I want to know what that means. I'm in. Count me in. Here we have The Mask of Fu Manchu starring Boris Karloff is coming out. Let's hope this doesn't get canceled by the progressives that talk about cultural all kinds of things. But hey, it's a famous movie. It's Boris Karloff. Why not? Myrna Loy's in this. Jean Hersholt, they give out awards based on her. So, hey, there you go. Great humanitarian. And Coppola's film, The Rain People. I have never seen this. I've seen Finian's Rainbow, but I've never seen The Rain People. I've always wanted to see this. I can't wait. Coming out from Warner Archive. Francis Coppola's early effort, The Rain People, coming out. Very excited. And then Warner Brothers, for the 35th anniversary of Tim Burton's Batman, they're putting out this Steelbook. Now, while I don't hate this is not a great Steelbook cover.
For me, it's just I own the Batman already.
I do too. 4K. I'm not going to buy it. Look, I'm just reporting. Just reporting.
Yeah, I know.
This cover, I don't see this cover is not that inspired. And what, could they not get Michael Keaton's face? So they're showing Batman, like, what? I mean, there's so many cool. There's so many.
Once again, Rob, a cover without showing the actor. Is there some stuff?
Yeah, you know why? They don't have to get approval. They don't have to get approval. And look, they've got the Batmobile on the inside. There's no picture of Michael Keaton as Batman. I mean, okay, 35th anniversary. Maybe this goes right back up. Warner Brothers, I'm going to add this to your shame list of shameful covers. But this is a steelbook celebrating its 35th anniversary. Come on. Epic fail, Warner Brothers. Epic fail. Just saying. You know what? You know who wouldn't put this cover out? George Feltenstein. George Feltenstein wouldn't put this cover out. He would give you the Batman equivalent of this, and it would be beautiful. But you didn't ask, and we're getting this instead. Why should anybody buy this? It's not a new transfer, not a new sound mix. All you're selling is a steelbook. You got to make that steelbook great. Criterion, even though they announced these 2 weeks ago, we weren't here to talk about it. They're releasing Blue Velvet. They released Blue Velvet 5 years ago with the new 4K remastering, but this is the actual 4K disc. This I would imagine, is going to look fantastic. I can't wait to get this. Absolutely buy this. The Wachowskis Bound. Their movie Bound, I love, by the way. No, I love this cover. This is not the normal key art, but I do love this cover. I love this movie. I don't know if they're repurposing the audio commentary, but I have this. I can't wait to get this in 4K. Bring it on. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas coming out in 4K. Obviously, Terry Gilliam's film. A lot of fun, worth getting. And here's something. Criterion's putting out this from Rainier Werner Fassbinder. Corel. Now, if you couldn't tell from this cover, this movie is gay. It's very gay. And this looks like an AI-generated cover, but for some reason, I really like it. And it's based on the book by Jean Genet.
Actually, it looks like a figurine, Rob.
It does look like a figurine. And I saw this movie in a theater, and it certainly opened my eyes. It's actually quite a good film, but, you know, who's the, not the, this looks like the photographer, not Mapplethorpe, but hang on. I got to find out his name because it has to be inspired by this. But I forget it. I'm looking it up. Yeah. If I can figure it out, but I can't. I forget his name. But everyone would know him. He's a very famous gay photographer, and I forget the man's name. I should know his name, but that's what this looks like. It does not look like a Mapplethorpe photograph, but people will know. Something. I forget. In the chat if you know. But interesting film. Definitely get this. It's in 4K. Then we've got Victims of Sin. I don't know anything about this movie, but Emilio Fernandez, and why not? It's Criterion. I'll watch this. This is total cat in the bag. And then, of course, they're putting out The Underground Railroad from Barry Jenkins, which this is an interesting release, but I'll get this too. Why not? Now, this is fascinating. There's something coming out, I don't know, from Shameless. Luigi Bazzoni's Footprints, Klaus Kinski, Astronauts. I know nothing about this movie, but it's got astronauts in it. So I'm going to buy it. I've never even heard of this movie.
The Crazy Klaus?
Crazy Klaus, man. Klaus Kinski's in this movie. I totally will buy this movie. I don't know anything about it, but I will buy it. Stephen Norrington, who I've partied with. Death Machine, his first movie. Kino Lorber's putting it out to celebrate its 30th anniversary. Wow. 30th anniversary. I like Death Machine.
With I believe, three different cuts.
Yeah, 3 different cuts.
With a new director's cut, this US theatrical, and the longer international version.
Yes, look at that. With different covers and all that. Bring it on. It feeds on your fear. Cool to get this movie. Stephen Norrington obviously directed the first Blade, and he also directed League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which kind of ended his career, but it's good to have this back in print. Speaking of imprint, Imprint's putting out another neo-noir cinema After Dark box set, their third, I believe. There's some good stuff in this. We've got Heaven's Prisoners, which is based on, it's Phil Bono Joano's movie based on James Lee Burke's stuff. Under Suspicion is in this box set. The Crossing Guard is in this box set. So there's some good stuff in this. I would definitely want to get this box set. But the thing is, then some of these get re-released in different countries and things like that. So I don't know. But still a great box to get. They're also putting out Secretary, the ultimate James Spader movie. For all of you spankers out there, Secretary is coming out. Pretty good from them. Fresh is coming out, like this movie. They're also putting out The United States of Leland, which I only saw once. I remember liking it, but cool that they're putting it out. And Rambling Rose, a terrific film starring Laura Dern. Never come out on Blu-ray before. Definitely a title to get. Now we're going from Australia to the British Isles again. Eureka, putting out Valiant Red Pony 1, or Red Pony Gambler 1, 2, and 3. The Valiant Red Pony box set. Know nothing about it, but more great Asian cinema done up as only Eureka can for their Masters of Cinema series. They're also putting out Yen Wo Ping, the fight choreographer from the Matrix, putting out the Miracle Fighters. To win this fight, he'll need a miracle. This looks pretty great. And there you go. That's coming out from Eureka, and so is Beast Fighter, Sonny Chiba in Beast Fighter, Karate Bullfighter, and Karate Bear Fighter. So there you go. I mean, look at that. Karate Bullfighter just cracks me up. I love that.
Those animals have to be tamed.
And you know me and ninjas, Kino Lorber.
Yeah.
Putting out Revenge of the Ninja.
Exactly.
Shokazuki.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. In Kazuki. I love Shokazuki, love ninjas. Nothing is better. There's not anything in the world that can't be made better with the proper application of ninjas. Here they are.
Exactly.
And
have you gotten around, Rob? House of Ninjas?
I haven't finished it yet. But I like what I've seen. And then for you, buddy, Rennie Harlan. Maybe we can get Rennie Harlan to come on the show. Now we can make dreams happen. His movie, The Bricklayer. Some Secrets Are Deadly. Coming out on disc. Rennie Harlan's film, The Bricklayer.
And in Germany in 4K.
In Germany in 4K. Well, there you go. Speaking of Kino Lorber, they're putting out one of my favorite movies about Catholicism and being a holy man. That's, of course, The Bad Lieutenant. Harvey Keitel. If you ever want to see him masturbate, hey, you can in this movie. This is Abel Ferrara's, perhaps is his masterpiece, but coming out in 4K from Kino Lorber, and how can you not want this? This is a classic. And then we've got, finally, bringing up the rear, Sasquatch Sunset, about a family of Sasquatches, produced by Ari Aster. This movie, I haven't seen this, but apparently it's crazy. It's literally about a family of Sasquatches that don't speak English, but they live out in the woods, and it's a movie.
I know Kumiko the Treasure Hunter. I know the movie.
Well, there you go. And that's
from the same director. Do I see that correctly, Rob?
Yes, it is the same director. So there you go. Now let's check in on the sales figures. Overall sales. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Wish, Oppenheimer, Wonka, Migration, Anyone But You with that Sydney Sweeney who's tearing up the charts, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, The Color Purple, Ferrari, I forgot to get Ferrari, and Poor Things. That's the overall on all disc sales. There they are. And then we've got Blu-ray, the Blu-ray discs, top selling, of course, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Wish, Oppenheimer, The Abyss, True Lies, Wonka, Aliens, Poor Things, Suzume, and Migration. And the top-selling 4K discs are, in fact, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, The Abyss, True Lies, Aliens, Oppenheimer, Wish, Event Horizon. Because, people need more of that. Dune Part 1, Wonka, and The Hunger Games. Yeah, absolutely. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So there you go. Those are the top-selling titles.
And Rob, the Cameron titles are actually in order as most important they are. The Abyss, True Lies, and Aliens.
Now, let me ask you a question. Did you watch, Elliot Cohen commented on this, but did you watch Heath and Jeff, Films at Home, Jeff, who's been on the show?
A little bit.
So they did an editorial video. Jeff came out and talked about this, about people are taking 4K releases too seriously and all the acrimony that's flying on the internet, people angry about transfers and yelling and screaming. And they both came out and they basically said, look, 4K transfers are the best we've ever had, ever. And everyone's complaining, nitpicking. And even Jeff said, look, I don't look at the bit rates of all the discs. But overall, we are in fact living with an abundance of beautiful home media. And half the time when I listen to people bitch and moan and complain, they don't know what they're talking about anyway, so it's annoying. Now, I will say this. Having not looked at the transfers and hearing Dave Hargrove talk about, here from a philosophical standpoint, and I've talked about this on the show, watching movies on home video is by definition, you're not watching a movie in a theater. So you're translating. Normally when you see a movie in a theater, you're watching light projected through celluloid. It's an entirely different format from watching something at home on your 4K TV. So you're translating something into another technological format anyway. Ryan Johnson, cinematographer, wrote a great article about why he thinks 4K is BS. My thoughts on this subject, because everybody's been asking me to talk about this, my thoughts when it comes to transfers are you should try and duplicate what the cinematographer was going for when they originally shot the film. That said, because technology has increased, the technology and the color timing and the transfer and what they were eventually able to get for most of cinema history was limited by the limited technology they had in terms of developing and all that. And in the beginning of the 2000s, with color grading technology, they wrote their own color grading software for Lord of the Rings. And you look at movies like Amelie is coming out next week, the new 2K restoration. You look at these movies and they're products of the time in which they are made. And Lord of the Rings is a movie that was completely fabricated. The color timing of that movie was completely done in post. Obviously Andrew Lesnie shot the movie a certain way, but it was designed to go into the post phase so they could add eye lights, and they were able to use software and brighten, like you look at the elves and how they affected the film. There's a lot of post-production that went into finishing Lord of the Rings. And it's like now, James Cameron, like Aliens was always a grainy movie. They recolor timed it. They made it look different than it looked in 1986 when it came out. Now the question is, philosophically, does it look better or worse? Now, for me, I think a human being needs to sit there because only a human being can make aesthetic decisions. AI can't. When you're looking at art and color, as much as you might program AI algorithm to color balance something or to do a color grade for you, I think you still need human decision-making in that process. And I think that the artificiality, like Peter Jackson is using cutting-edge technology he did for his World War I documentary and he did for his Beatles documentary. And I understand because he was pioneering color timing technology. But I would prefer to see things like grain when something was originally shot in 1986 or in 88 or whatever. I would like to see them try and duplicate what the film looked like at the time. That's... Yeah. But when they can go in and
labels almost give us that every time.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. And you look at something like, one of the most striking transfers that I've seen was Second Sight's transfer for It Follows. It's like looking out a window. It's an incredible transfer. Now, I believe that
Warriors,
film was,
from Arrow.
Oh, the Warriors. Warriors from Arrow. We've been seeing some fantastic transfers, and the boutique labels, they're not going to go and redefine what a film looks like. If James Cameron wants to do that, just like if George Lucas wants to do that, I guess there's not much we can do. But look, I've got my Blu-rays of Aliens. I wish I had a Blu-ray of The Abyss. There's bootleg versions out there, and I haven't seen the transfers, but, in True Lies, I would like to have seen it look more filmic.
Actually, no, I'm thinking about it, Rob. You have the Stinky Tuna.
I have yours, too. It's right over there.
So that would be interesting to see what you are saying, comparing those two. So, like I said, does this look shitty? No, it doesn't. Does it look like I want it to look? No, it doesn't either, So you're in that kind of conundrum.
I mean, and we're going to see more and more of that. Like, look, I know that at some point they're probably going to use AI technology and start upscaling TV shows like Deep Space Nine and Voyager. I'd like them to go back to the negative. You should always go back to the negative when you can, because I don't think you can take something. You're never going to get the kind of resolution or the picture quality that you want, at least not right now, unless you go back to the negative. And you need somebody, but that's expensive. What AI is going to allow people to do, and it's going to suck, is remaster these films without a human being, without a lot of humans, so someone doesn't have to sit there. Everything is going to be on the cheap. Anytime they're going to save money, they're going to save money. This idea that we're going to get people who care about making sure. That's why the thing about boutique labels is they're going to make sure that all of our rich cinematic legacy, especially when it comes to genre films, is preserved. And that's a good thing. But ultimately, I mean, like I say, pop culture lasts 20 years, and then the half-life, and then as we get further and further away from our cinematic legacy, especially the 20th century cinematic legacy of these films, how many people are even going to watch them once they're remastered? I mean, in 50 years, is someone going to watch William Shatner in Impulse? Thank God Grindhouse Releasing did it, but how many people are they going to put that on a streaming service 50 years from now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it really is up to, I mean, human civilization has to define itself. And if human beings are no longer interested in movies, they'll fall by the wayside. They'll fall into the dustbin of history. And
considering all the discourse about those titles, Rob, if you are bitching and moaning, complaining, if there were faithful transfers, nobody would be complaining about it,
right?
Because we're getting those from the boutique labels, and we're waiting so long for these titles. And I think Paul said, the negative was in bad shape. Why was it in bad shape, Rob? Why wasn't it taken care of better? Why wasn't True Lies? Why isn't this the 5th release of the movie in HD?
I don't know. I want to watch Paul's. I haven't watched his comparison video yet. Yeah. He wants to come on the channel. Got him come on the channel.
For me, it is a great comparison. The only problem, Rob, it is compared to the 25-year-old DVD. Of course, the 4K will look better. That's a little bit of an odd comparison against the
But
old
to me,
DVD.
By using AI, you're now removing it twice away, because you're not just taking the negative and telecine or putting up the negative and transferring it to another medium and doing a scan. You're now using AI that's putting another layer of you're putting it into a computer. Not that you're not doing that anyway, but with the technology now, but you're adding a layer of computer learning or something that is removed from human. I mean, humans can tweak it still, sure. But they're not doing. I would much rather have a colorist sit there and time the film the way it was supposed to be color timed.
And considering the negative of True Lies being in bad shape, Rob, sometimes I get, by a vinegar syndrome title, and there is a card at the beginning that some parts of the movie are dropping in quality because they couldn't remove some stuff. And you watch the movie and there are perhaps 1 or 2 shots and you thought, okay, that was everything,
Right.
But you could have done something like this with True Lies too, that you said, okay, 1 or 2 shots are a little bit funky, They are just as they are. But the negative shouldn't have been, especially for that kind of movie, Rob, not an obscure, forgotten one.
The idea that the negative something is that movie shouldn't have a damaged negative.
Exactly, Rob. Exactly.
So we only have 15 minutes left. You know what that means?
Okay. Live chat.
Yeah.
Live chat.
I'm gonna go hit the head.
And you can go look after your dogs. Something is going on there.
Yeah, they're barking.
Previously on Let's Get Physical Media, Adventure Square, and the Oscar for Best Cat in the Bag goes to. That one has to be presented by myself, he says. And for me, at the moment, Best Cat in the Bag this year was Cuckoo, the Spanish title Cuckoo, and Der Fluch des Kuckuck. Really nice one. Blind Buy, really love it. Cuckoo, the original title, and it plays a little bit in Germany, the movie. So that, of course, got an uptick in the rating. Tim Hens, Madam Web doesn't deserve shite. It's trash. And Marco says, shout out to Tom Jr. Jackson, the only person to pre-order the Blu-ray of Madam Web. Altmetall, is this AI Judas Priest or are they still alive? Your first strike, Altmetall. Continue. Dünnes Eis, mein Freund. Dünnes Eis. Unbelievable. Beat up. Dieter couldn't answer the phone because he was jamming to the Judas Priest CD and dancing on his stripper pole. No, I was putting up my setup, but a little bit jamming, certainly too. Scott Bartholomew, Rob Halford is a better singer. Yes, he is. Thomas Bartholdi, I honestly, for some reason, watched Jason X last night. No defending, Thomas. Great, Jason X, because great kills, the freezer, a kill that I will never forget. You got the drill kill, and the homage to the sleeping bag kill. So Jason X, why not? Why not? Thomas Bartholdi, another great film I watched recently again was 13 Warrior. Exactly, Thomas. That is a movie that I would really love to have a new Blu-ray version of it, or a little bit more of a production. What happened exactly? Because I think there were a lot of trouble with the production, and somehow the movie still turned out to be really nice. BCH, Rob's thinking too hard about it follows. Yeah, it probably does. Drew Skizzy, after I'm watching Monk at this point, he says, check out Psych. After used to love Monk and Psych. Yeah, I heard always good things about Psych, but never gotten around to Psych. Charlie the Unicorn, Rent a Cop. I've not heard the name of that movie in a long time. Roman Chopper, the only category I'm curious about in the best documentary, but doubt 20 Days in Mariupol has a chance in the Vogue environment. Well, Roman, I think it won the Oscar, 20 Days. Rob Tucker, Rob, could you ask Bill Hunt if he has heard of the Connery Moore 007 movies in 4K? I don't think we have heard anything about 007 being presented in 4K. And it's always nice to see new people here. Andy Bacterian, this was super chat. I remember now. Greetings from Argentina. Video under D, but Laserdisc is stuck on composited, which sucks. VHS looks much better though through component or HDMI than it does through composite. Yeah, but you could Laserdisc player had an SVHS sometimes cable that you could plug in, or an AGB cable back in the day. Video under D, Campia, the bad Canadian kid, missed the big thing. It's achievement in special effects, not special effects. And that's why this was great. Godzilla -1 did take away the win. Tim Hens, personally, I would like to see Killers of the Flower Moon win Best Picture. Reality tells me it will be Oppenheimer. Yeah, that was in fact the case. Cheeseworks, I wish you all would do an Oscar watch bar along. Rob did that. I have no special sympathies at the Oscars this year. Perhaps the Japanese Wenders movies. Yeah, Perfect Days. I heard about that one. Really looks interesting. Video under D. I think Oppenheimer totally has the momentum right now. Unfortunately, I was not a fan. Yeah, it had the exact momentum. Luke's a Blade. Love Dieter's Askesheuert. I have a different one today. Paul and Brunotto. Dieter, you're the best trash bender. At least one has to be. Okay. Tommy Ricknell says to me, Lilia Forever is brutal. And Mallbrain said, oh no, it's one of the darkest dramas you will ever see. So put it away for some time. NDH, Extraordinary is a great series. Love Chislot, NDH, you and me. You and I, sir, park our shuttlecraft in the same shuttle bay when it comes to Extraordinary. Speaking of Shogun, Altmetall, Anna Sawai was terrible in Monarch. In Shogun, she is better. Charlie the Unicorn, considering we are always talking about people are being too good looking for the show. Charlie the Unicorn, too hot for the show, said no one ever. Walter Whitewalker. Lucky for me, there's an English dub of Shogun on the extras tab on Hulu. I'm still confused. Then everybody is speaking English, it seems. Okay. Thomas Bartholdi. I'd watch Free Enterprise again. Thomas Bartholdi, you forgot to put in the exact current rate, that we have to pay you, to watch Free Enterprise again. Someone is back. Hitchhiker 42. The BBFC censored an 18 certificate film, Poor Things, and cut a scene in which actors acted. Yeah, but at least, as always I say, BBFC has a little bit, at least kind of a rule book. Charlie the Unicorn. Not a trash movie, but sounds like a trash movie. Yeah, but Freaks vs. the Reich or Freaks Out, which is the normal title, is not a trash movie. Imagine X-Men, the first one, but still playing in World War II scenario. Gotta love Deed's picks. Lisa Roberts, Rob, you showed the picture of the Star Trek Search for Spock steelbook, and Lisa Roberts actually liked the steel and the original artwork, and she says, I want both. No. Joey Johnson, I know Rob didn't like Moon Knight, but I'll be getting the steelbook. I enjoyed it, and the steelbook will look nice next to my Khonshu Funko. Exactly. Admiral Terje was in the Swiss super chat that I think we forgot, Rob. Dieter, choose one Rothrock movie for me to blind buy. Righting wrongs did me no wrongs, but all rights, kudos. I sense I will buy more. And I've heard, Terje, you bought Undefeatable. Great. Let me know what you think about it. And if you still want to go on that train, then I would say, yes, madam, after that. Rob, Joe Johnson, Rob, are you ignoring the Moon Knight steelbook? Yes, Joey. Yeah,
I am.
Moon Knight steelbook. Even if it looks great. The steelbook looks great.
It does look great, but I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Tom Jr. Jackson, I'll have the Marvels on Blu-ray. Don't say that. Tom Jr. Jackson, don't say that. Charlie the Unicorn. Only one Steeder? No way. Talking about the Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbird and Snakes. At the moment, only once. Let's see next weekend, Charlie. Kenneth Straley Jr. Rob, thanks for reading my emails this week. Loved your work over the years and keep up the super amazing work with the channel, buddy. Thomas Bertoldi, having epic hair is nice. What are you talking about, Thomas? Having epic hair? Oh, unbelievable. Beat up. Guarantee while Deeds reads 2 weeks worth of chat, RB will take a nap or hit the restroom. Walter Whitewalker, speaking of metal, Dieter, you should check out Volbeat, but go 2006 to 2014. Walter, I know Volbeat, unlike KMFD, FDM. And TJM wants me to say Wiener Schnitzel. Wiener Schnitzel, I hope that fulfilled that. Species 1571. Maybe they want to listen to a podcast because somebody asked, is the show on a podcast on their phone? And I said, why not use YouTube? The YouTube app doesn't let you just listen with the screen off. Actually, Species 1571, it does, but you have to be a premium member, as far as I know, because it works for me. I can use YouTube and the screen is black and it still is playing YouTube. Walter Whitewalker, Dieter, regarding the Shogun dub, they do still have some subtitles, but only when 2 languages are spoken in the scene at the same time, so it adds to the authenticity. And Thomas Logan reminds us, Rob, that from A24, a 4K remaster of Aronofsky's Pi is available.
Oh, I know. I can't wait.
On their shop site. Charlie the Unicorn. Anna Sawai is fluent in both English and Japanese. Perfect for Shogun type of movie involving both languages. Casting director for the win. Eric Cusino. Rob, I am your exact age and I was about to call you old man shouting at clouds, but you beat me to it. Yes, I agree with you 90% of the time, which is a good ratio.
Let's work on that 10%, Rob, buddy. Come on.
Yeah. Adventure Square says, Rob, isn't freehand because Rob is already fearful that nobody will say happy birthday on May 15. And Adventure Square says,
it's true.
Rob, isn't 364 birthdays not not enough.
Not enough.
Year.
It's
Christian,
not enough.
Hello, Rob and Dieter. Dieter, best wishes from Toronto. And Sonny Dominguez wants me to say, I'm feeling like in a Bart Simpson sketch here. I don't know about that. I'm excited for Dune 2. Dune 2 chicks at the same time. That's what my super chat requested, okay? Perhaps it was a joke that I
Hey, are we almost done with this? Only because I have to jump out.
Yeah. Charlie the Unicorn, here's what I like. I'll be arguing with the wording of the trivia question being asked. B-Dep, modesty, that was great on the members chat. Torched can be on the members chat. And Roberto for muting her. Hey, Bandita, hope you gentlemen have a blessed night. Thank you for a great show as always. And the man thinks when I have my night shift, he needs to do the show on his 3-hour lunch break at work. I don't have a 3-hour lunch break, Tim. So this was the live chat, Rob.
Okay, I only have to cut it short because I got to go over to George the Giant Slayer at 1, I promise. But Walter White Walker says if John Lithgow isn't if he isn't in Sasquatch Sunset, I'm out. Is that a little Harry and the Hendersons reference? Major Chai Chai gifted 5 Burnettwork memberships. That's very nice. Thank you, Major Chai Chai. She's a very talented woman. Her Witch King of Angmar outfit is looking mighty fine. And she's going to play Rachel. She's going to cosplay Rachel Garrett, which is chef's kiss. Tom Jr. Jackson, our moderator, says, considering Sunday is Easter, will there be a show? Do you celebrate Easter?
Yes, Rob, but for me, we can do a show.
Yeah, because it's at night already. You've already gone to your Easter egg hunt.
Yeah. So for me, not a problem, Rob. I leave that up to you.
Well, you know, we have to celebrate the first zombie holiday after all. People coming back from the dead. You know what I mean?
So for me, not a problem.
We are caught up with super chats and everything. I'm sorry I've got to cut this short. It's been a long, fun show. After I got it was so weird that the internet was not working, then I found what the problem was. So I apologize for being late. It was weird because it was working in the morning and it was working last night, and it somehow cut off when I went and got my coffee. So I want to thank everybody for generously supporting this show via super chats and tips. I want to thank Tom Jr. Jackson and our entire moderating staff for being the moderators that they are. So thank you. Tom Jr. Jackson is Lord Toth here. Lord Toth is indeed here, Lord Toth. And so thank all of you for watching, and I very much appreciate that. And, you know, I guess on that note,
jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen. And you're going to miss the Star Trek trivia today, but I'm sorry about that. We'll get it next week.
Yeah.
And on that note, Dieter...
Go ape, people. Go ape.
You have more. You're thinking more forward than all the people that work at Disney Plus. They should hire you. All right. Next week.
See you next week, guys.